that by accident. Yeah, whatever. Tell me why. Tell me why. Way. What's up, everyone? Just getting everything set up. We'll be ready to start momentarily. Sorry about the random scene. Oh, hope everyone's day is going well. Got an important note about this week's episode and the future episodes for the next couple of weeks. Breaking news, actually, I just found out on the podcast, Terry Francona has apparently announced, has come out and said it is time for him to retire. His body is telling him to retire after the season. His quote from MLB Network Radio, apparently, it's time my body is telling me that, my head is telling me that. I've been pretty clear with the guys I work for and told them to start preparing because it's time. Kind of sad because he's a great manager in baseball. But it makes sense. He's had a lot of health issues recently. He's going to go down as a very good manager and will be mainly known, I think, to most people as the manager of the 2004 Red Sox, who broke an 86-year drought of not winning the World Series. Just wanted to get that out while I'm saying things up. Did not expect that news. Rare occasion I get to post, say, breaking news on the podcast. Usually things don't come out that quickly. Well, we got a lot to talk about, though, this week. Right. Almost set up. Get final thing set up and be ready to go. Okay. Let's begin. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Benny and the Booth Podcast. On this week's episode, we've got MLB Weekly Recap. We've got College Football Week 1 Recap, just specifically on crazy games from this past week, plus Week 2 key games from the schedule, not the entire schedule, and the NFL Week 1 predictions. All coming up. Let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 91 of the Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. A few notes, or one main note, before I dive into this week's episode. This is the last episode I'm going to be doing live for a while. I am flying to Israel Monday night, the same night as Monday Night Football. We'll get into who that is in prediction in a little bit. But this is going to be the last live episode. Next week will be pre-recorded. I'm not sure when I'm going to get it out. But the next few episodes are going to be all pre-recorded and posted. None are going to be live. Probably till like mid-late October. And even then it's going to be interesting because I have a whole thing in that month. But basically just expect it's going to be all pre-recorded and posted at some points on Tuesday still, hopefully. But nothing live for the next few weeks, just because I'm going to be out of this country in a whole different time zone, 7 hours ahead. And I could realistically find a time where I could go live normal here in Israel, but it's just easier if I pre-record stuff. I could do Immaculate Grid, pre-recorded, connected with the episode, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, just wanted to give that update that is starting next week. But there will still be an episode next week. It just will be pre-recorded instead of done live. But yeah, I'm going to start with college football because boy, what a week we had. Seemed like college football, the first few weeks where it's like the non-conference games, you don't necessarily expect things to go haywire. Well, things went haywire. I'll start off with the Ohio State game. I'll save that for last, actually. Colorado, with their first game as Deion Sanders as their new head coach, took on TCU, who was just coming off making college football playoffs, getting to the finals, getting whooped by Georgia. We'll not talk about that game and that prediction I had on that game, but that's another story for another day. And Colorado actually went and upset TCU at TCU. 40, I think it was like 45-44. Hold on. Forgetting what the score is. Where are you, Colorado? Because I wrote the wrong score down. 45-42. I realized I wrote down the wrong score. I wrote down the score for a different game that was also an upset. But yeah, big surprise. Colorado has someone that played on both sides of the ball and went crazy on both sides of the ball. They look for really good against TCU, and it will be interesting to see what happens. They play Nebraska this upcoming week. Florida State, LSU face each other again last year. Florida State only won by 1 point. Well, what is Florida 24-23? Well, what did they do this year? They said, let's give Florida the LSU 24 points. And this time, we're going to score 45 points. Whipping number 8 Florida State, whipping number 5 LSU 45-24. And the last main upset, Duke last night upset number 7 Clemson 28-7 for the first Duke win versus AP top 10 team since Clemson in 1989, and the least amount of points Clemson has scored against an unranked team in the Dabo Swinney era, who was the head coach of Clemson for the last many years. And honestly, after this loss, he might be on the hot seat, if you ask me. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, Ohio State, they won, but it was too close. It was not as much action as they could have had. They struggled a lot against Indiana, but won 23-3. I'm cutting some slack, to be honest. And I'm not just saying this Ohio State fan. I cut them some slack because it's a new quarterback who, yeah, he technically got a game last year, but a game, like, I ain't gonna do much really. He pick, didn't throw a touchdown, had like a decent game passing. Both their touchdowns were on the run game. If it repeats again against Youngstown State, then I'm going to be concerned. But against Indiana in conference game, and conference games are always something that could be dicey, I'm going to cut them a break. But yeah, Ohio State did win 23-3. They're playing Youngstown State, which has not an interesting matchup at all. But matchups to look out for this week. Utah, number 12, Utah at Baylor, 12 p.m. on Saturday on ESPN. Nebraska at number 22, Colorado, coming off that upset on 12 p.m. on Fox. Let's see. Number 23, Texas A&M at Miami, 3:30 on ABC. Iowa and Iowa State. This is I think they play each other pretty much every year, if not almost every year. 3:30 on Fox. Matchup for Iowa, or the main matchup for Iowa colleges. Otherwise, there's not really much else to look out for on the college football schedule. But yeah, that's the week 1 recap and week 2 schedule lookouts. All right, week 1 of football is finally starting Thursday night. No more preseason junk. No more training camp. No, it's finally back to actual regular season football. Though, Thursday night just got a huge shakeup this morning as it came out that Travis Kelce had I'm always forgetting the term I used for this. Oh, Lord. Had a hyperextended his knee in practice today and is in doubt for week 1 against Detroit, which, if he's out, that's a huge blow to Kansas City. Not to say Kansas City will lose, but that definitely gives more of a chance for Detroit to win that game. But it's not an ACL tear. His ACL is intact. That came out a little bit ago. But that's an injury to keep an eye out for because that could be game-changing for Thursday night. But either way, let's go over the actual picks. That was just the one note I wanted to note for week 1. Detroit, Kansas City, Thursday Night Football, 8:20 on NBC. So it's going to be in 2 days. My pick at the moment is Kansas City. If Kelce is out, I would consider Detroit. But I still think Kansas City, at the moment, I have confidence in Kansas City winning week 1. If Kelce's out, I would say Detroit might win. But Kansas City's my official pick. Sunday games of week 1, Carolina and Atlanta, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Panthers winning. This could be Bryce Young's first start in the NFL against Falcons, who probably Desmond Ridder. Bengals and Browns, 1 p.m. on CBS. No matter how much of me wants to say Browns as a Browns fan, at the end of the day, this podcast is not biasy towards the Browns. It's supposed to be a neutral podcast. And from a neutral stand of view, no matter how much I want the Browns to win on Sunday, and I'm going to be rooting for them to win on Sunday, I don't think they're going to beat Cincinnati on Sunday, and I think the Bengals will win. It is in Cleveland, which kind of helps the Browns case more, but I don't think they're going to win against Cincinnati. Maybe if somehow Burrow's out, they would be able. If Burrow's out, I think they'd be able to win, but it seems like he's going to play. But we'll see what happens. When my pick for that game is Cincinnati. Jaguars and Colts, 1 p.m. on Fox. Anthony Richardson's debut. Jaguars are winning that game. Buccaneers and Vikings, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Vikings. Saints hosting the Titans, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Saints. Niners at Steelers, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have 49ers. Cardinals at Commanders, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Commanders. Cardinals are going to be without Kyler Murray for a few weeks. Texans with C.J. Stroud's debut against the Ravens, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Ravens. Packers at Bears for the first time without Aaron Rodgers for the entire season, as he is now a Jet. I have the Bears, 4:25 on Fox. Raiders at Broncos, 4:25 on CBS. I have the Broncos. Eagles at Patriots, 4:25 on CBS. I have the Eagles. Patriots are probably going to have a rough year this year. Dolphins at Chargers, 4:25 on CBS. I would love it. It's going to be an interesting one. The Dolphins lost, not having Ramsey is going to be a blow. And I have the Chargers winning that game. Rams at Seahawks, 4:25 on Fox. I have the Seahawks. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Giants, 8:20 on NBC. I have the Cowboys. And Monday Night Football, fittingly for 9/11, which commemorates 9/11 of 2001 that happened in New York. It's the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets at MetLife, 8:15 on ESPN/ABC. I have the Bills winning that game. That was my NFL Week 1 predictions. Let me know your Week 1 predictions in the live chat or comments below. Meantime, let's get to MLB Weekly Recap. Outside of the notes, Julio Urias, great pitcher for the Dodgers, had a thing like 2019, I think it was, about something with his wife. Didn't get majorly suspended or anything. And then something happened again, and he's not on the Dodgers roster at the moment. Could end up getting suspended. Could end up getting really punished, and we'll have to see what happens. But that hurts the Dodgers because he's one of their top stars in that rotation. Either way, aside from that, let's get right into the rest of it. Charlie Morton went going 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. The Braves 3-1 win versus the Rockies. This was fifth time a pitcher, 39 plus years old, allowed 1 run or less, 3 hits or less over at least 6 innings at Coors Field, which is where the Rockies play, along with Randy Johnson in 2007, Tom Glavine in 2008, and Greg Maddux, who did both in 2007 and 2008. With 5-4 Mariners win over the A's, Seattle won 21 games in August, which is the most in Mariners history, passing June of 1997. June of 1997, and also along with September-October of 1995 and September-October of 2001. DJ Stewart had a 2-homer game and a walk-off hit by a pitch and a Mets 6-5 win over the Rangers in 10 innings. With 7-0 Arizona win over the Diamondbacks, Dodgers won 24 games in August, most in 1 month for Dodgers since before moving to LA. With 2-run homer in 9th, Andy Volpe, who's from New Jersey, became first Yankee to have 20 homers, 20 stolen bases in rookie season ever, and 15th in MLB history. On the same day as Ronald Acuna Jr. got married, he also hit a grand slam home run in second, a part of a 6-run second, which marked him the first player to have 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases in one season in a Braves win. Ronnie Mauricio, in his Major League debut, hit a 117-mile-per-hour double for first Major League hit, and a Mets 2-1 win over the Mariners. Nick Lofton, Royals number 5 prospect in Major League debut, gets first hit and RBI in a Royals 13-2 win over the Red Sox. Jason Dominguez, a.k.a. Martian, who finally got called up in his Major League debut, homered his first Major League at-bat, also homered in the series finale. And Austin Wells in the Major League debut got a single for first Major League hit and a Yankees 6-2 win over the Astros. 7-8 leads the Cubs over the Reds 15-7. Edward Olivares, 2-homer game, including second, a part of a 7-run fifth, and Royals 12-1 win over the White Sox. And Royce Lewis hit his 3rd grand slam in 8 games and his first rookie to do so in history, and 4th overall as non-rookies category, with Larry Parrish in 1982, Jim Northrup in 1968, and Lou Gehrig in 1931 in a Twins 20-6 win over the Cleveland Guardians. That is the notes part. Now for standings, and now I finally have magic numbers for teams to clinch division, for the bottom spots of the wild card to clinching wild card spot. I don't know about the upper teams, but the lower of the wild card I do know. So let's get right into it. And also, I don't count teams that are 10 plus games out of either or race. And technically, already some teams are even eliminated. But they're 10 plus out anyways. Orioles still in first place at 86-51. Their magic number to win the division is 22, which is either between them winning and the Rays losing, who are 83-55, 3.5 games back. AL Central, the Twins are in first place, 72-66. Their magic number is 19, followed by the Guardians at 66-72, who are 6 games back, followed by the Tigers at 63-74, who are 8.5 back. AL West, Mariners still in first place, even after all this craziness that's happened since the episodes. 77-60. Their magic number is 24 to win the division for the first time since 2001. Followed by the Astros, who are 78-61, a game back. Followed by the Rangers, who are 76-61, either game or 2 games back. Oh, no, sorry. Astros are not back any. Texas is back a game. Sorry. And then that's it for the American League. For the National League East, Braves are 90-46. Magic number is 12. NL Central, the Brewers are first place, 76-61. Their magic number is 23, followed by the Cubs at 74-64, 2.5 back. Followed by the Reds at 72-68, 5.5 back. And then the NL West, Dodgers in first place at 84-52, with their magic number being 12. For the wild card standings, the Rays in first, 6.5 games up, followed by the Astros a game up, followed by the Rangers, who are not any games up or down. Their magic number to clinch a wild card spot is 25. Followed by the Blue Jays at 76-62, a half game back, followed by the 72-66 Red Sox, who are 4.5 back, followed by the Yankees at 68-69, 8 games back. And then for the NL wild card, Phillies in first place, 5.5 up at 76-61, followed by the Cubs, who are 3 games up, followed by the Diamondbacks, who are neutral at 71-67, followed by the Reds, who are tied at that spot, who are not any games back, but are 4th, followed by the Marlins at 70-67, a half game back, followed by the Giants at 70-68, a game back, followed by the Padres at 65-74, 6.5 back, followed by the Pirates at 64-74, 7 games back, followed by the Mets at 63-74, 7.5 games back, followed by Washington 62-76, 9 games back. And then as for today's games, whether have started already or have not, games have started already. Twins and Guardians are tied at 2, bottom 3. Brewers and Pirates are scoreless, bottom 2. Mariners are up 2-0 over the Reds right now, top 2. Red Sox and Rays are scoreless, bottom 2. Dodgers and Marlins are scoreless, bottom 2. Mets and Nationals have just started. Yankees and Tigers are about to start. Cardinals and Braves are about to start. And then as for the games that are starting soon or about to start, White Sox at Royals at 7:40, Astros at Rangers at 8:05. Giants at Cubs at 7:40. Sorry, I almost forgot that even. Orioles at Angels at 9:38. Rockies at Diamondbacks at 9:40. Blue Jays at A's at 9:40. Phillies at Padres at 9:40. That is the recap. That is this week's episode of the podcast. Let's wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. On next week's episode, we'll have MLB Weekly Recap. We'll have College Football Week 2 recap with the Week 3 schedule look ahead. We'll have NFL Week 1 recap and NFL Week 2 predictions and anything else that happens between now and then. Also, keep in mind, the next whole bunch of episodes between now and October are all going to be pre-recorded and posted later. Not going to be live for the next whole bunch of weeks just due to the time zone jump I'm going to be having. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new on audio, leave on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a notification button to notify when I go live and or post a new video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit the notification button to notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you next week's episode 92. Bye-bye.